Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling AI in banking.
Ooh, that's a big one.
It is. And to help us break it all down, we've got some excerpts from, let me see, it's called AI Transformation in Banking, the AIDA Advantage.
Okay, yeah, I heard of that one.
And it really digs into Pantheon Inc.'s AI-driven automation platform, AI. So by the end of this deep dive, you'll know not just how AI is shaking things up for the banks, but also what it means for you, like next time you check your account online.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much AI is already running behind the scenes. It's not just some future thing anymore, it's here.
That's so true. I mean, think about it. One of the biggest places you're probably already seeing AI is in customer
Oh
service.
yeah, for sure.
Remember those days of standing in line forever at the bank? Or getting stuck in those phone menus? Ugh.
The worst.
AI is changing all that.
Totally. With AIDA, it's all about analyzing your data to make things super personalized, like across all your banking, on your phone, your computer, everywhere.
So, like, imagine you're online, maybe doing a little shopping, and bam, your bank sends you a notification for a credit card with, like, amazing travel rewards.
And it turns out you were just thinking about booking a trip.
Exactly. That's AIDA. It's using all this real-time data to figure out what you need before you even know you need it.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. Like, it's not just what you're doing right now, it's looking at, your past spending, what accounts you have, all that, to figure out what would be helpful at any given moment.
It's like having a little banking genie in your pocket.
Right. And it can save you so much time, too. Like, you might discover things you didn't even realize you were looking for.
And speaking of time saving, what about those late night banking emergencies? Like when you need to reset your password at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I've been there.
Well, AIDA powers a lot of those chatbots and virtual assistants. You can get help with those quick questions anytime.
It's a lifesaver, especially if you're busy and can't always make it to the bank during normal hours. And it's not just like answering basic questions. Some of these chatbots are so advanced, they can even tell how you're feeling.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's called sentiment analysis. They can, like, read your tone and adjust how they respond to be more empathetic.
So it's almost like talking to a real person, even though it's a bot.
Exactly. But here's the real kicker. AIDA can be proactive, too. Like, let's say you're checking out houses online. AIDA might pick up on that and send you loan offers or pre-approval info.
Oh, wow. That's smart.
It really is. It's like having, a personal banking assistant working behind the scenes, making sure you have what you need.
So it's not just reactive, it's predictive.
Exactly. And it's a win-win, right? You get a more personalized, efficient experience, and the bank gets happier, more loyal customers.
For sure. But AIDA doesn't stop there. Let's
Yeah.
talk about another big one, fraud.
Oh, yeah, that's huge these days. Especially with, like, online transactions and data breaches everywhere you look.
Keeping your money safe is more important than ever, and that's where AIDA's like super analytical powers really come in.
It's like a 247 security guard for your account, constantly looking for anything suspicious.
Right. And it uses machine learning so it can learn your spending habits and spot anything that's off. Like if someone stole your card and tried to buy something from a place you've never been.
Yeah, AIDA would probably flag that in a heartbeat. They call it behavioral profiling.
So it's building this baseline of your normal activity so it can quickly identify anything that's out of place.
Exactly. But it's not just about individual behavior either. It's also analyzing, like, massive amounts of transaction data in real time.
So if there's, say, a sudden spike in transactions from a place known for cybercrime,
AIDA would pick up on that anomaly and investigate it further.
it's like a super smart detective working behind the scenes.
Totally. And then there's something called dynamic fraud scoring.
Okay, what's that?
So basically, every transaction gets a risk score, and if it's too risky, AIDA can automatically block it.
Wow, talk about peace of mind.
And don't forget about all those anti-money laundering regulations banks have to deal with.
Oh, right, there's a ton of those.
Well, AIDA helps with that too. It generates reports, flags suspicious transactions, makes the whole process way more efficient.
No, it's not just about convenience, it's about security, too.
For sure. Now, let's move on to something I think we can all relate to. Loans.
Ooh, yeah, nobody likes that process. Whether it's a mortgage or a car loan or even just a small business loan, it's always a hassle.
So much paperwork and waiting around.
But guess what? AIDA can help streamline that whole experience.
It's true. AI is perfect for dealing with all the data involved in loan applications. It makes things so much faster and more accurate.
So, like, remember those days of digging up pay stubs and bank statements? AIDA can verify all that instantly just by checking it against, like, tons of databases and credit bureaus.
No more digging through those file cabinets.
Thank goodness. And once your info's verified, AIDA uses those fancy algorithms to figure out how creditworthy you are.
Right? It takes into account your income, employment history, all that.
So the bank can make a smart decision about whether to lend to you.
And the cool thing is, it's not just about the bank. AIDA can actually create personalized loan offers based on your specific financial situation.
So you're not just getting some generic offer.
Exactly. It's tailored to your needs and goals.
And the best part, real-time approvals. No more waiting for days or weeks.
You could apply for a car loan and get approved in minutes.
That would be amazing. So AIDA makes the whole loan process faster, less stressful, and more personalized.
It's a win for everyone involved. But we've got one more area to cover, and it's a big one. Investment advice.
Ooh, yeah, a lot of people are interested in that.
Traditionally, getting personalized advice meant hiring a financial advisor, which could be expensive.
Not everyone has access to that.
Right. But AI is changing that, making personalized guidance more accessible.
So how does AIDA actually help with investment?
Well, it starts with something called portfolio optimization. Basically, AIDA looks at your risk tolerance, your goals, how long you want to invest, all that.
Okay.
And then it recommends the ideal mix of investments for you, whether that's stocks, bonds, real estate, you name it.
So it's creating a customized investment strategy.
Exactly. And it's not just a one-time thing either. AIDA continuously monitors the markets, looking for new opportunities.
It's like having your own personal research team.
And then there's predictive analytics.
Okay, I've heard that term thrown around. What does it actually mean?
It's basically using AI to try and predict future returns and risks.
So like a crystal ball for investments.
Kind of. AIDA analyzes historical data and current market conditions to give you a better idea of how your investments might perform.
That's super helpful for making informed decisions.
But of course, AI is just a tool. It's not meant to replace human financial advisors completely.
Right, there's still a lot of value in human judgment.
Exactly. And speaking of assistants, AIDA also powers those robo-advisors you've probably heard about.
Oh yeah, those are becoming pretty popular.
They're a great option for people who want a more hands-off approach to investing.
So basically, you set your preferences and let the AI do the work.
Exactly. So whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, AIDA can provide those personalized insights to help you reach your goals.
It really does seem like AIDA covers every aspect of banking.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But we've only scratched the surface. There's still so much more to explore.
That's right. In part 2, we'll go behind the scenes and look at some of AIDA's less visible but equally important functions, like risk management and compliance monitoring.
It's going to be fascinating. So make sure you tune in for part 2.
Absolutely. We'll see you then.
All right, so welcome back to our AI in Banking deep dive.
We're picking up right where we left off, yeah. Delving deeper into AIDA.
That's right. And this time we're going behind the scenes.
Ooh, backstage pass.
Exactly. Last time we talked about all those customer-facing features, personalized service, catching fraud, and making those loans smoother.
All the fun stuff.
Right. But now we're going to see how AIDA changes how banks manage risk and keep things running day to day.
Okay, so less flashy but still important.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Take risk management, for example.
Okay, risk management. Honestly, not something I think about a lot as a customer.
I get it.
Yeah.
But for banks, it's everything. They got to be able to spot those potential problems.
Potential problems? Like what? Give me an example.
Well, imagine a big shakeup in the housing market, or maybe some global event throws things off.
Oh, yeah, like a trade war or something.
Exactly. Well, AIDA can analyze those trends, instantly, and warn the bank.
So they can be prepared.
Exactly. Adjust their lending, maybe change their investments, make sure they're ready.
So it's like having a finger on the pulse of the entire economy all the time.
Pretty much. And it's not just the big picture stuff either. AIDA can even, look at individual customers.
To see if they might default on a loan or something.
Yeah, exactly. That way the bank can step in and help maybe prevent things from getting worse.
I mean, that's really cool using AI to actually help people out.
It really is. And it goes even further. AIDA can even run those, what are they called? Stress tests.
Stress tests on the whole bank.
Yep. Like simulating a recession or a market crash.
Oh, that's intense.
But necessary. Got to make sure the bank can handle anything, right?
Makes sense. Okay, so what else happens behind the scenes?
Well, get ready to yawn. Because next up is compliance monitoring.
Uh-oh, sounds exciting.
I know. Not the most thrilling topic, but banking's a super regulated industry.
I can only imagine the paperwork.
It's insane, and the rules change constantly. It's a nightmare.
So how does AIDA help?
AIDA's like a compliance superhero. It keeps up with all those regulations, make sure the bank's following the rules.
So they don't get slapped with those massive fines.
Exactly. It's always on the lookout, flagging anything suspicious, making sure they're in line with all those AML and KYC rules.
AML and KYC.
Anti-money laundering and know your customer. It's all about preventing financial crime.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. AIDA just takes so much of the headache out of compliance. Yeah. Generates reports, keeps the compliance team updated. It's a lifesaver.
So the bank can focus on, actually serving customers.
Exactly. And a compliant bank means a trustworthy bank. So it benefits everyone in the end.
For sure. Okay, so we talked about risk and compliance. What else is there?
Let's talk data, specifically real-time analytics and reporting.
Ooh, yeah, data's king these days.
And in finance, speed is everything. You got to have those insights instantly to make smart decisions.
So how does AIDA bring the speed?
It takes all that raw data transactions, customer interactions, market trends, you name it, and turns it into something useful.
Okay, but how do they actually use that? Paint me a picture.
All right, so picture a bank executive, right? They have this dashboard that shows them everything in real time.
Everything? Like what kind of everything?
Like how many loans they approve that day, how happy customers are with the online banking, if there's any weird ATM activity, anything you can think of.
Wow, that's a lot of information. But is it actually helpful?
Oh, absolutely. First, it helps them spot trends as they're happening.
Like, are people suddenly applying for more mortgages?
Exactly. Or maybe they're seeing a pattern in complaints about a specific service.
So they can fix the problem before it gets out of control.
Right. And they can also track how well their strategies are working.
So basically, they have a clear picture of what's going on across the entire bank at any given moment?
Precisely. And it doesn't stop there. AIDA also makes these super detailed reports on all sorts of things like risk exposure, compliance status, customer behavior.
So it's like having a 360-degree view of the bank powered by AI.
Exactly. And that benefits everyone, right? A data-driven bank is a more efficient, innovative bank.
Which means better products and services for customers.
For sure. Okay, ready for one last behind-the-scenes peek?
Hit me.
It's called predictive maintenance.
Predictive maintenance. That sounds super technical.
It is. But basically, it's all about keeping everything running smoothly.
Okay, so like making sure the ATMs don't run out of cash.
That's part of it. AIDA can actually predict when those machines might need service or when they need to be refilled.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So I'm less likely to get stuck at an empty ATM.
Exactly. And it can also monitor the network, make sure online banking's running smoothly.
So no system crashes.
Right. And it even does those system health checks on all the bank's computers.
To catch any potential problems before they happen.
Exactly. It's like having a team of tech experts working 24/7 to keep things running.
So everything just works seamlessly for the customer.
That's the goal. AIDA really does cover it all, doesn't it? From the flashy features to the nuts and bolts of keeping everything running.
It's pretty amazing. But I guess all this technology must come with some challenges too.
You're absolutely right. There are definitely some important questions we need to consider.
Okay, so in part 3, we're diving into those challenges, right?
That's right. There we'll talk about things like the impact on jobs, transparency in AI decision-making, and even the role of regulation.
Ooh, sounds like a can of worms.
A little bit. But it's a conversation we need to have, so make sure you join us for part 3.
And we're back. Final part of our deep dive, AI in banking.
We've seen how AIDA is changing the game, but like you said last time, there's got to be some challenges, right?
Right. Like, it all sounds amazing, but what about the downsides? What are we not thinking about?
Well, one big question is jobs. What happens to all the people working in banks when AI starts doing more and more?
Yeah, is everyone going to be out of a job? Replaced by robots?
It's a valid concern, but it's probably not that simple. I mean, sure, some jobs that are, very routine might get automated.
Like data entry, stuff like that.
Exactly. But AI is also creating whole new jobs in things like data science, AI development.
So it's more like a shift then, rather than everyone losing their jobs.
Right, exactly. But the key is going to be adaptation. People will need to learn new skills.
So banks and schools need to step up and offer training.
Exactly. Okay, another thing to think about is how AI makes decisions. Like when AIDA says, hey, you should get this loan or invest in that, can we always understand why?
Right. It's like that whole black box thing. We know it works, but not how.
Exactly. And in finance, that's a big deal. We need to trust those decisions.
So how do we fix that?
Well, for one, we need to make AI more transparent. Like build systems where we can see how the decision's made, make it auditable.
So it's not just about accuracy, it's about explainability.
Right. And human oversight is going to be crucial, too. AI can't just be making those big financial calls on its own.
We still need humans in the loop to make sure things are fair, ethical, all that.
Exactly. Which brings us to regulation.
Oh, yeah. How do we regulate something that's changing so fast?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Regulators need to walk that line between, encouraging innovation and protecting people.
So no stifling the progress, but also making sure it's used responsibly.
Right. It's going to take a lot of collaboration between policymakers, the tech folks, the banks themselves.
So basically, we all got to work together to make sure this AI thing goes well.
Absolutely. It's a powerful tool, but we need to shape how it's used, make sure it benefits everyone.
That's a great point. Any final thoughts for our listeners before we wrap up?
I just say stay curious. Ask questions about how your bank's using AI, learn about the pros and cons. This stuff's only going to get bigger.
It's not science fiction anymore, it's here.
Exactly. So be informed, be engaged, and help shape this future.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into AI in banking. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a blast.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.